Welcome back, everybody, to Survivor Garage 1969. I'm going to try to do a little bit of a walk around on the car. It's not going to be much because I still have quite a bit of stuff here in the garage, that has to be moved out. But I wanted to give a little bit of what's been done to the car. I'm going to try and do this with one hand on, holding the camera and the other one, to point. Anyways, when I got this car back in 1983, we're going to call this a supermarket find. And you might ask, because you hear a barn find. Okay, the previous owner of this car had an old building, which was a old supermarket. And anyways, this car with a lot of his other cars were stored in this building. So we can call this a supermarket find. And but anyways, when the car was put into the building or taken out, because after the gentleman passed away, all the cars had to be taken out of the building, for appraisal purposes and stuff like that. But like I said, either when they put the car in the garage or the building or took it out, this whole section here, basically like from right here all the way back to the door, this was all caved in. So I think they got too close to the edge of the building, and they just hit it, and they kept on going, and they smashed all of this in. Well, it was way beyond, I'm not going to stuff this with Bondo. So my other 69 Z28, many, many years ago, I had a guy hang new quarters on the car. So when I cannibalized that car for parts for this car here, I took the quarters off of the car. So rather than replace the whole quarter, I just sectioned this piece because the rest of the quarter on this car is fine. And I did not want to mess with the factory lines, the factory welds, all that stuff. I didn't want to touch that. So I sectioned this section in, then you had to do a little bit of plastic work, over the seam and so on. But yeah, this was all, smashed in, and it was very sad. So also, when the car was stored in the building, let me walk here toward the back. See, the car was vandalized. And anyways, gotta watch so I don't fall on my butt. So what they'd done, the thieves, when they broke it, they broke into this car. And they pried the deck lid open, all right? So when they'd done that, let me get back here a little further. I got too much stuff in this garage. Okay, this whole section right here, they went to pry the deck lid open. Well, this maybe from like right here to right here, this whole section, it was all smashed down. From them with a pry bar, whatever they used to break in it. So the other Camaro, I had cut the taillight panel out. So there again, this panel was perfect other than the damage that was done here. So I sectioned, that piece in here. And then now all this was done years ago. I didn't even have a digital camera then. It's just basically a 35 millimeter, which I do have some, photos of it then. And then, but nothing like, the digital stuff that's out there today. So, but yeah, so this is, this was damaged. And surprising, like I said in a previous video, they did not get in the car. Or if they did, thank God they did not damage anything. Because all I had to replace on the inside of the car was the carpet, just from being old in the dash pad. And one thing now, as far as the engine was concerned, they did steal the carb off of it, the distributor. And when I got the car, it was not running. And then, when I got it home eventually, in a short amount of time, I pulled the motor, took everything apart. And then what the mechanics lien was on this car when the guy got it, what was done, I have no idea. And then, but the guy's wife, Virgil's wife, she still had the paperwork on this car, the bill. And Virgil gave the guy, I guess it was close to a year or whatever, so much time to make payments, whatever he had done to the car. Well, after Virgil passed away, this guy actually came out of the woodwork, because he originally, this car was purchased new in Bucyrus, Ohio, and wherever this gentleman lived, when he found out that Virgil had passed away, he came out of the woodwork to try to get the car back. And well, Sophie, Virgil's wife, she had the documentation on the car, and no, you had so much time to pay the bill to get your car back. So once, he basically forfeited the car. So anyway, she had to take him to court to have him sign off. She presented all the documentation on the bill. So in front of the judge, the guy had to sign the title over because he still held the title to this car. And then, but I will do a further walk around on the car, when I get some stuff moved out of the garage. Because like I said, it's just, the weather here in Ohio is starting to get a little nicer, and I did have to bring a lot of stuff into the garage, before the winter months. And it's a little rough working in a single car garage. And then, well, basically I've worked out of this garage on cars for, my own personal stuff for, going on 66 years. So it's a little tougher now since my accident, getting around. But you know what? I'm thankful for what I've got. It'd be nice to have a big building or larger garage to be able to do this stuff. Let me open the passenger door here. Try and do this here with one hand. Hang on here a minute. Get my finger in there. Wait a minute. Doggone it. Hang on just a second. There we go. I've got stuff in here, parts, to go on the car, door handles and everything. Like I said in a previous video, the seats are original, front and back. The headliner, the door panels are actually in the house. They are original from back then. Full console, gauges, everything works. I'll do a better video, like I said, when I get stuff moved from the driver's side of the car to show in there. All the gauges work, including the clock. It keeps accurate time, when the battery's hooked up. And then, but the car's had a pretty rough life. It's had the snot beat out of it. And like I said, actually, I know the guy that owned this car back in 1972, and occasionally he stops around because he knows I have the car. And but he was not easy on this poor thing. And well, pretty much all the owners that's had this car, they've beat the crap out of it. And when I got it, I figured, you know what, I want to put it back the way it looked when it was new. And then it runs respectable. I'm not worried about going out and seeing who I can beat. I can care less about that, because I don't want to wreck the car. And then it's just a nice, it's a nice old high performance car to run. And then if I'd want to take it to the track, it would be respectable for what it is. But not like 30, 40 years ago when I used to, head out on the local place here in Mansfield and, do the drag race. And yeah, I had a hell of a lot of fun with the other car, but that's not my, thing for this one. I'm not saying I won't do a little smoky here and there. And then, but beyond that, no. It's just, this is going to be my last one that I do for myself. If I can help people with their car, whatever I can do to help them, I'll be more than happy to. So, but yeah, I'll do a little bit more of a walk around on this, when I get more stuff moved out of the garage. But I wanted to show, a little bit more of the, the damage that was done on this car. One thing I got to say for these old Camaros, man, they make damn good shelves. Good shelves, catch-alls for all your stuff. They work really well for that. And then, let me shut the door here. And there's my garage buddy. He's my helper, little Coco. Yeah, he's got to be out here helping Dad. So anyways, and also one thing I have to seal the car, and then I use this stuff. It's a 3-in-1 primer. You can high build, you can medium build, or you can reduce it down to use it as a sealer. A lot of guys, I've seen on YouTube, they don't like using it. I've used this kind of primer for, daily drivers. I've done it, on custom paint, cars years back. I've never had an issue with it. If you're kind of on a budget, it's good stuff. But it's all in what you want to use and what works for you. This stuff works for me. I've never had issues with it. There's some guys, on YouTube that they just don't like it. Well, that's okay. It's whatever you like to use, whatever works for you. And then, but what I get, and I'm not endorsed by them or anything like that, it's a 3-in-1 primer from TP Tools in Canfield, Ohio. And yeah, it's good stuff. So, but anyways, just a little bit more of a video, and so I will do more, as time goes on. I want to get on the driver's side and show you, and when I pull the doors, what little bit of surface rust has got to be done, repair on that. The lip where it comes around into the bottom of the door housing, it's very small. It doesn't require having new door skins, me putting skins on it, nothing. And then because there were dents and dings, little dings on the doors that I had to take care of, just normal stuff. But the door itself, the straightness, they're good. So, okay, everybody, thanks for watching, and stay tuned. Like I said, I'll try to get videos out as quick as I can, but I have good days and I have bad days. Days I can move pretty good, and days I can't. And so, okay, thanks again. Appreciate you.